Now, you are a CEO. Take us through the memory lane. The good, the bad of running this organization. Of course, people out there, or someone there that want to venture into this kind of business, or already in the business as a CEO, it's saying, no, I can continue because of the ups and downs, challenges, the environment not friendly. No. Was it time or a point in time that you said, no, I'm quitting as a CEO of a company? So take us down the good aspect of it, the bad aspect of it. What is it that you can never forget venturing into this? Because many people will say, no, to be a CEO, indeed, it's not a day job.
It's not a day job.
Easy lies they have.
It's not an easy job. It's not. It's also not for everybody. We have to be realistic about that. Not everybody will be an entrepreneur. Not everybody is cut out to be an entrepreneur. Let's not. Some people are just good administrators. Some people are good managers. Some people are good at what they do. But taking that full responsibility for everything, when it fails, when it works, it's not an everybody thing. There has never been a time I felt like I should quit, and that's because it was a conscious decision I made to do this and see it through. It doesn't also mean that that time will not come where I want to diversify and do other things, but quitting is not an option at all for me. Yes, there has been trying times, especially when you have to break into the market, and that area really, one thing that always concerns me in that area is the saying that goes thus, that it's easier to fool people than to convince people that they have been fooled. Simply meaning that if people are used to doing things a certain way and their perception is that that is the best way it is possible to get it done, it is easier for you to just come into the industry and just do exactly that and move on, continue, get your own market share and continue, than for you to actually convince people that, you know what, there's a better way to do this. Might be a little bit more expensive, but this is the better result you get. Or might be a little bit cheaper, but this is the result you get. It's much more difficult to do that, and that's the most challenging part. The part where you have to convince people that, you know what, things are not right the way they are. They can actually be done better. That's a challenging part. Another challenging part is usually in the area of funding a business. If you want to start a business, how do you exactly get it funded? And I know that your first line of funding should actually come from yourself, your savings, your personal savings, and maybe people around you. When that comes, you are showing the whole world that I am more than willing to sacrifice, to invest my savings in this, to build confidence for other people to believe in what you're doing. And another part of the challenge is when you have to come to manpower, skilled labor manpower. It's also an issue where you know that this is the way it should be done, this is the way things need to go, but you're having challenge of getting people that will fit into that. It can be daunting sometimes when you actually have subordinates under you, and then you have to micromanage them throughout the entire processes. It's like you're doing the work of 10 people even though you have 10 people hired at that point in time. That's also usually a challenge. But I know for a fact that when you want to hire as a CEO, as excuse me, a business person, certain things I look for when it comes to hiring people is not conventional. I am of the opinion that you can teach skills to people, but you can't teach passion. You can't teach commitment, you can't teach loyalty. What you can teach to people is the skills to do their job. You can give them heads up, you can send them on training. But how do you send somebody on training? To be passionate about what he does. How do you send somebody on training to be loyal to the business he or she works for, what he does? So what I look out for is, okay, do you have the fire in your eyes? Are you passionate about this? Are you willing to do this? Are you willing to do what it takes to actually do this? Are you loyal to the system? Do you really believe you should be here? When I find people like that, I believe that we can always bring them in, train them the way they should be, empower them to actually make them better, and they come out better because they already have the base ingredients you need. Also, if you look at it, the situation of the country generally is tough on entrepreneurs and business owners. For example, my office has been boggled twice within 3 years, and on each occasion millions of naira was lost. And of course, if you accumulate the 2 occasions that the office was boggled, we're talking about tens of millions of naira that was lost at that point in time. That is supposed to, I mean, by what people say, discourage you from saying, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, let me just move on to other things. But it's just a challenge that as an entrepreneur you have to be prepared for. That is, there are risks associated with whatever it is you do, and you prepare yourself in such a way that you can have mitigating processes in place. And part of the process that I tell every entrepreneur today is, it doesn't matter how little your business is. Insurance is something you must not compromise on, because you are not in charge. You are in charge of what you do. You are not in charge of what the society is like, what the security situation is like. There's only so much you can do. But if you can reduce your risk by transferring that risk to an insurance company, paying your premium to have your stuff insured, it really, really gives you leeway when situations come up that you're not comfortable with, that could even ruin your business completely. So when you put all of those things, when you put some of these things in place, then you know that, oh, this is the result I get at the end of it. So yes, there has been challenges. There's always challenges. Of course, when the issue of the exchange rates went through the roof, it also affected our business, because when a business where everything, and there's no exception, everything is denominated in US dollars. Cars are not made in Nigeria, parts are not made in Nigeria, lubricants are partially made in Nigeria, most of them still have to import their base oil. Everything is import based, and then when the dollar goes through the roof, you expect that everything goes through the roof in our line of business. And so those are the challenges that it's been, but at no point did the idea of quit comes. It's what comes usually when these challenges surface is, you're like, okay, fine, let's do an assessment, let's regroup, let's have a retreat. How do we deal with this challenge and move on? And some of them, we have preempted them that, okay, this is likely to come up. What are the things we have to put in place to prevent this from happening? How do we make sure that this doesn't set us back completely and all that? So yes, there are always going to be challenges, but we always find a way to get